All right, so let's look over to this other page of notes real quick. Yes, definitely make sure you hang on to that vocabulary. Okay, so number 1 says, how many lines can you draw through point A? How many lines could I draw through just point A? I could draw 1, 2. What about here? Could I draw one like that? Yep. Could I draw a line like that? Could I draw a line like that? Here, here, here. How many lines could I draw through there? There you go. Good. Let's try this. Okay, so yes, you're right. The answer is there's an infinite amount you could draw. Bless you. Bless you. Oh, sorry. I don't know why this thing's lagging so bad. That's crazy. Come on. Something. All right, there we go. Okay, next one. How many lines can you draw through B and C? So that means it has to go through both of them. How many lines can you draw through B and C? Can I draw any more than that? Nope, that's it. 1. Okay, number 3 says draw and label D between B and C. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a segment here real quick. B and C go on the outside, and it says that D is between them. Anywhere between them. I don't know if it's halfway between or whatever, but it's just as long as it's between there somewhere. So it says, how many different ways can we name this line? So let's just list them out. So one way I could name this line, and remember when we name a line, how many points do we use? Use 2 points. Okay? Remember, when you name a line, you always use just 2 points. So I could use B and D. So BD is one way. And I guess they're saying this is a line, so I should do it like that. Okay, so BD is one way. Remember, just using 2 points. Now I can take that and flip that around and say DB. BC. Okay, flip that around first, CB. And then what's the other way? BC. We got BC, we got BD, so then what's the other one? DC. And CD. All right, that's it. That's all the ways we can name that with those points on there. Okay, number 4. So I want to draw a line that goes through all those points. Okay, so it says give 3 ways. So I want you on your paper to write 3 different ways you can name that line. Just write down 3 different ways. There's a bunch. I think we counted up there's 20 different ways you could do it, but just write down 3 different ways to name this line right here. Make sure you're using the proper symbols, please. So remember, to name it, all you need is 2 points. 2 points, not 3, not 1. You need 2 points to name it. You can choose any 2 points. right, Malachi, what's one way you did it?
EF.
Okay, EF, good. Okay, Jordan, what's one way you did it?
F to J.
FJ. Okay, good. Jared, what's one way you did it? EH. Good. Okay, good. So, I mean, you could do EF, EG, EH, EJ. You could do FE, FG, FH, FJ. You could do GE, GF, GH, GJ. You could do HE, HF, HG, HJ. And you could do JE, JF, JG, JH. Okay, number 5. How many different lines can you draw through 3 non-collinear? So remember, what does it mean to be non-collinear? Well, what does it mean to be collinear first? Points on the same line. So non-collinear means what? Points not on the same line. And that's what we've got right here. They've got a picture of that, okay? So A, B, and C, these are non-collinear because you cannot draw one line through all 3 of those at the same time. So the question is, how many lines can you draw through 3 non-collinear points? How many lines could I draw through those 3 points?
3.
Yep, 3. One right here, one right here, one right here. And we could name them, but it would be, I mean, it's easy. AB, AC, CB. All right, on number 6, list all the possible names for this given figure. So that's what I want you to do right now is to list all of them. And I think there's going to be, I think there's 13 if I remember right. 13 different ways. I want you to list out all 13.
It's just 2, right?
Yep, just 2 letters. Go for it. Start listing them. Try to get them all. Try to list out all the names for this line right here. Should be 13 ways. So make sure you get that one last little way. So there's 12. Where's the 13th way?
Line B.
Boom, right there. That's it. Most people forgot about that. As I walked around, most people were trying to find that 13th. Right there, that's the 13th way. Okay, on this one, okay, so what is this thing right here? It's a plane, okay, so I could name it. I'm not going to list all the ways, but plane X, Y, Z. Remember, when you name a plane, you use 3 letters. You don't use 2, you don't use 4, you use 3 letters. Okay, then I could rearrange all those letters in different ways, but what's the other main way to name this plane? Plane B. Okay, on the back. Okay, so are AB and C collinear? Are AB and C collinear? Remember, what does collinear mean? They're all on the same line. Are AB and C all on the same line? Nope, so they are not. They're not on the same line. Okay? B, are A, B, C, D, and E coplanar? That means on the same plane, on the same flat surface. Okay? Which one's messing it up? Is A, because A is way up above here. Okay, so if down here, if they would have taken A off of this, if A would have not been there, and if it would have just said are B, C, D, and E coplanar, then the answer would be yes. Because they are all on the same flat surface. But when you consider the whole group, B, C, D, E, and then A with it, the answer is no. Okay, A is the one jacking it up. Okay, how many planes appear in this figure?
5.
Okay, it could be 5 or 6. I'm going to go with 6.
Oh, because the bottom one.
Yeah, because we're going to consider the bottom of this and the big one here different. Okay, so this plane right here on the front of this pyramid. Okay, what would the name of that plane be right there? What could we name that plane right there? Okay, A, D, E. Yep. All right. What about the one here on the side right here? What could we call that plane? Okay, ACD. I'm just putting them in alphabetical order. That just seems a little bit more logical. All right. What about this one on the back here? What could we call that plane? Okay, plane ABC. Why do you want to do that? Makes no sense. Sometimes it lets me erase, sometimes it don't. Stupid thing. Okay. So what about this right here? This one on this side. What could we call that? Plane ABE. See? Lets me erase lines. Thank you. All right, what about the one on the bottom down here? What could I name that one? Okay, remember when I name a plane, how many points do I use? 3. Even though there may be 4 points, I still only use 3, and it doesn't matter what 3 I use, okay? As long as they're not in a straight line, I should say. But okay, so what? BCD will be good. And then the final one is this one right here. There it goes. Crazy. This one right. Yeah, the big one here is what? Plane F. Okay, next question. What's the intersection of AE and AB? So let's think about this. Here's AE, here's AB. Where do AE and AB meet up at? So AE and AB meet up where? At point A. I mean, one way to think about it is this has an A, this has an A. That means they both are at A. Okay, so that's where they meet up, is at point A. Okay, what's the intersection of line AE and plane F? So where does this line meet up with this plane?
E.
Yep, right there at point E, exactly. And then finally, where does plane F and plane AED intersect?
E and D. E and D.
Okay, good. All right, so what did it say, AED? Yep. So AED is this right here. I wonder how this works. Yep. Okay, good. And then I don't know how this one works. Yep. Okay, so where does the red plane meet up with the blue plane?
E and D.
Right here along this right here. Good. Remember we talked about that. Where two planes meet up, they meet up at a line. So where that plane hits this plane, it hits it right along line ED. Or I guess that's a segment, but either way, okay. Yeah, actually, yeah. We're done a little bit early, but not much. Y'all go ahead and put your stuff up.